Good Monday afternoon, everybody. Hope you're doing well. You know, um, over the weekend, throughout the week, last week actually, a lot of people said they would like to watch their college football and baseball, basketball teams. Just pay for them. In other words, not worry anymore about not worry about whether or not they're on television, where they're on television. you know and direct to consumer is the way things have been going, so why not have direct to consumer in college sports? Now, college sports has reached the point where conference commissioners must stop treating all member brands as if they're created equal, because they're not. Schools that fuel TV ratings, spark national conversations, drive ticket sales, move merchandise, and attract sponsors are the brands that make billions of dollars from the media rights deals. And the powerhouses like Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma, Florida State, USC, Penn State, LSU, all of the big names, Notre Dame, of course, they drive the sport. But the conferences, basically have taken over, and they haven't basically given us the opportunity that if we want to watch our favorite team and just subscribe to that we can. Right now, you might have to subscribe to 9, 10, 15, 20 different, um, 20 different, that's an exaggeration, 4 or 5 different, uh, 4 or 5 different subscription services to get what it is that you want. And that, you know, if you want to watch, um, if you want to watch football, and let's say you're in Michigan, right? Not Michigan State. We'll use them. You're a Spartans fan. Not every game is going to be on linear television. Some of it's going to be on the Big Ten network, other places. Why shouldn't you be allowed, just like you can with the NFL or the NBA, or Major League Baseball, to pick that opportunity and just sign up for a season where you get to watch all of your games, and not just you know football, but basketball if you wish, or whatever. I mean, you should be able to do that, and certainly the technology's there because it's being done right now. But the conferences have not bought into this deal. So let's team focused product is basically the next logical step. The next generation of the Big 10, Big 12, SEC, and ACC contracts should include a direct and consumer provision that allows fans to purchase packages built around their favorite schools. Not everyone, um, not every game, I'm sorry, would belong to these packages. Nationally televised games selected by ESPN, ABC, Fox, CBS, NBC, TNT Sports, or any other rights partner should remain exclusive to those outlets. However, those premium windows are the foundation of the current business model, and they certainly should be protected. But unselected games, every Olympic sport events, every non-conference matchup without a major television window, and every piece of school-controlled digital content should be available to fans who want to pay for it. This is not a threat to existing media rights systems, it's a way to strengthen it. A direct-to-consumer offering could certainly serve fans who want single school subscriptions, a full conference package, individual access on a monthly basis, or the conference could manage the technology, production and standards, advertising inventory, consumer data, and schools would have defined in their own programming and promotion the opportunity for you to get any number of different things that right now you have to go all over the place searching for. Let's talk a little bit about brands driving revenue deserve more flexibility. Commissioners face the uncomfortable reality. The biggest brands are becoming more aware of their individual value. And we saw that with Florida State, Clemson, you know, yelling about what they weren't getting from the ACC. They see audiences as, you know, that they produce. They see social media engagement. They see streaming numbers. They see national television windows that revolve around their games. And they see professional franchises using direct to consumer products to deepen relationships with fans and monetize this content beyond the traditional television schedule. This is a system that gives the brands no flexibility to create anything else that basically ends up in tension with the conferences. Now, the schools along for the ride benefit from centralized conference revenue and should continue to receive stability in the model that we talked about and provide. But there's a difference between protecting revenue sharing and preventing major brands from developing new additive income streams. A, a conference led direct to consumer model can do both. The league can preserve its national television package, keep a revenue sharing component for all members, and still permit teams with major fan bases to sell their unclaimed inventory through conference approved platforms that make sensible compromises between collective strength and major market realities. Fans have always wanted access. They don't want another barrier. And that's where we're dealing with right now is the barriers. Excuse me. All they want is can they watch their own team? If the answer requires a fan to subscribe to 3 services, find a regional streaming link, and determine whether the game is on a conference network or searching for an obscure excuse me, just getting a little water here. All right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. If the answer requires a fan to subscribe to 3 services, find a regional streaming link, determine whether the game is on the conference network or not, or search for an obscure digital stream, college sports fans have made it clear that they find that unnecessarily difficult. A clear school based direct to consumer option solves that problem. Okay? Imagine a season long Alabama pass if you're a fan of the Crimson Tide, or Michigan pass, or Florida State pass, or Kansas pass to include every basketball game that's not on television. Football, basketball, baseball, softball, soccer, volleyball, coaches shows, press conferences, highlights, replays, original programming. It all sits in one place. If you go the direct to consumer route, that kind of product would not only serve super fans, it would serve alumni, students, parents, donors, out of market supporters who have no interest in paying for an entire traditional television bundle. First party data is a major asset. The subscription fees are only one part of the opportunity. A conference with a direct to platform would give these leagues and schools direct access to first party fan data. They would learn which supporters watch women's basketball, which fans enjoy college baseball, who buys tickets after watching a game, and which alumni responds to which sponsors. This creates better inventory for advertisers, more intelligent ticket marketing, stronger donor outreach, and more targeted marketing merchandise sales. For years, conferences have allowed distributors and technology to perform much of the consumer relationships. The next media deal should be rebalanced to that equation. The conferences do not need to become Netflix it needs to be sure its own meaningful relationship with the people who make the college sports valuable, the fans, are happy. Commissioners must act before the market forces them to. The next rights cycle is a time to act, not after the next round of realignment, but after, when surrendering the digital flexibility. Commissioners should a conference controlled direct to consumer platform, a school specific subscription option for unselected live events, national television blackout protections for premium rights partners, a defined revenue sharing formula that supports every conference member, the access to third party customers, and giving the freedom of the schools. Sponsoring and advertising rights tied to the direct programming, clear production standards, and current models that build college sports into media powerhouses. But it was designed for world domination by cable bundles and linear television schedules. That time has changed. Conference commissioners have a choice. They can wait for the largest brands to demand individual control, or they can build a modern direct to consumer structure that recognizes individual values while preserving conference stability. The smart move is to act now. So there you go. That's what I'm saying to you today. Let's see what we got in the way of questions. Um, and I know we do, so let's get to the questions we got here. All right. What do we got? Ralph Wiggin. Hey, Ralph, how you doing? Ralphie says, I think you are a bit high, but on that, we're talking, he asked me a question about how much money the Big 12 would get. I said approximately a bump to, say, 40 at the top. He says that it's going to be 35 to 37 is doable. Look at the Pac fans uh, praying for the next Big 12 deal is like a Pac storm. Okay. Um, let's see what else we have in the way of questions as we move down the row here. This song and dance is getting old. TNT and USA. It doesn't matter where they are working with it. Whether let me see if you can. Let me read this again. Dr. Paul Perryloaf. This song and dance is getting old. TNT USA. It doesn't matter where they are working, where they are all working together. P2 have driven conglomerates and will collectively lowball everyone else because that's good for their business. Okay, very cynical look at it. All right, fair enough. Um, dum dum dum. Uh, TBS and TNT are strong, uh, comparable, if not better than ESPN at this point. That would be wrong. Okay, but it's certainly you're allowed to your own opinion. Um, let's see what else we got. Bids are small. Just saying. Only the thing that matters anymore is expected to go to the playoffs. Without the top teams, they will drop 20 million. I don't know what he's talking about there. Um, all right, let's. Bids will be in line with what Fox and ESPN would offer. No one is getting an undercut. There will probably be an eye on CW aspect for over the year as well. TNT went all in last year to show what they could bring to the table. Much better fix than ESPN. So a lot of ESPN haters out there. Um, Remind you, by the way, that ESPN still has a lot of money. Um, let's see. We got the current deal after Texas and Oklahoma. I guess we're talking about the Big 12 now. Left. As for brands, we got Tech, BYU, Utah, ASU probably round out the top four. good teams in good, decent TV markets. If Colorado, UCF, Cincy, and TCU could get decent to good, they would also be great and pick up more people. So I guess the Big 12's weighing in as they normally do. All right. I think um, I think you made your point about the future of linear TV. Paying a cable company $250 a month for linear TV is drawing to an ending very fast. Okay, let's see what else we got. I disagree. This is from Zach Sweeney. If that were the case, they would move to the Big Ten. I have no idea what you're talking about, Zach. But thanks for doing it anyway. All righty, everybody. We will be moving on, and we hope that you had a good day today. And take care. See you soon.